Hi everyone, welcome to your stretch and rest class for today. My name is Ellen McKay and I'm grateful to be here with you. We are going to be doing a practice for hips and low back. I will be practicing primarily on a mat, but I will definitely give options if you prefer to practice in a chair. Also, I'm going to be using a yoga block. So if you have one, great. If you don't have a yoga block, that's okay. Maybe grab a book or a smaller pillow, even a towel folded up would be great. It's just to give you a little bit of an extra lift up from the floor. Also, I'll be using a yoga blanket to sit on. So if you have one, great. If not, a towel blanket will work great. We're going to come down to have a seat. Great. Get nice and comfortable wherever you want to be. Maybe roll the shoulders up and back a couple times. Get some little movement there for the neck. We'll be facing primarily on the lower body. So if you need a little opening or releasing of the upper body, go ahead and move around a bit. Maybe circle the wrists, maybe bend and straighten the fingers, kind of shake it out a little bit. And we'll get started. So you don't have to sit like me. Legs don't have to be crossed. Whatever position feels comfortable for you is great. We'll start with a little bit of centering and just a little bit of transition time to go from wherever you were to being here on your mat in this practice. Close your eyes if you choose. Let's take a couple nice big ha breaths in through the nose and up through the mouth. Good, just kind of let it out. Great way to release the day. Make that transition from whatever you got going on to being here in this moment of self-care. If you choose to keep the eyes closed, great. If you prefer to have them open, that's great too. Maybe the breath gets a little fuller. Just finding your pace for today. Feeling the body calming down a bit. Maybe the muscles are starting to soften a little, especially around the jaw or shoulders. About 5 more breaths. Very nice. Great. Let's start to add in a little bit of movement to our practice today. So bring the legs out in front of you, and I'm going to turn a little sideways here so you can see a bit better of what I'm doing. But you're going to lean back a little, so hands can face in whatever direction feels good for the wrists. Take the feet a little bit wider than the hips and just gently rock side to side. Yep, doesn't have to be as big as my movements. You can definitely be starting out slower, whatever works for you. If you're seated in a chair, just scoot a little bit more towards the edge of the chair, take those feet wide, and make those similar movements. Just kind of rocking the knees side to side, getting some movement in the hip and leg space. Very good. Good. One more time, side to side. Nice. Great. Bring it back to center. Back again to that seated position. Let's take a little twisting motion, and it'll be really gentle. Take left hand to left leg and just bring that right hand to the side. Take a little gentle twist to one side, and then we're going to come to center and switch it out, other side. Good, kind of easing in. Let's do it again. Maybe that right hand walks back a little farther this time, or hold on to the side of the chair. Switch it out, right hand to the leg. Left hand might reach back a little farther. Good. Switch it again, right hand goes back, maybe back even farther. Maybe even that left hand kind of crosses the body this time. Finding your twist. Twist can be really helpful to stretch those low back muscles. Let's switch it out, other side. Especially those quadratus lumborum muscles. They're the ones that are kind of on that low back area. And twist can be a really great way to open up that space. Good. Slowly release. We're going to take the fingertips forward. So if you're seated in a chair, maybe you bring the hands to the knees or even the shins, kind of starting to make that forward motion. And as we take that forward fold, we're only going to go a little bit. So even if you feel like you could lay flat down on the mat, we're going to only go about halfway or quarter of the way forward. And then from here, just allow the body to soften a little bit. Allow the sits bones to reach back towards the seat, whether you're sitting on the mat or the chair. And then take a little walk of the hands to one side, doesn't matter. But if you're reaching the hands to the left, feel like you can press that sits bone down to the right. So you're getting lots of space right here in that low back area. Let's take one more breath here. And then walk the hands to center, and we'll go to the other side. So same thing. Really feel like you're reaching that opposite hip down towards the ground. Couple more full breaths. Good. Bring it all back to center. Nice. Come back up. Moving into a tabletop shape. If you're in your chair, you can come to stand and then put your hands on the seat of the chair. So we're kind of all making the same shape. Flat back here, rock those hips side to side. So these outer thigh, glute muscles, also if this space is really tight, it can pull on that low back area and pull on those hip spaces. So a couple more rocks side to side of the hips. And then let's try some big circles. So maybe the circles start a little bit smaller and then they get bigger and bigger as you go. Good. Couple more times around in this direction. And then switch it out other way. Very good. One more time around. Great. Fantastic. Let's find that block if you've got it and you want to use it. Also, this blanket can be really helpful, or towel, whatever it is you're using, to put underneath the knees if your knees need some more support or more cushioning. Might make it feel a lot better. So we're going to start with the left foot forward, right knee down. So the right knee is going to be down onto the mat. Again, another great option to take that blanket and put it underneath the knee. If you're standing and prefer to stay that way, you're just going to bring your left foot forward and maybe step that right foot back a little bit. You can always use the chair to lean on. The knee does not have to meet the mat. Just kind of making a similar shape with the legs. If you're using a block, it can be really helpful just to kind of bring the floor up to you. And we're going to rock back and forth a couple times. So just kind of getting that front to back movement. We did a little bit of side to side movement already. Getting into hips and outer legs. Getting into that low back. Good job. A couple more times front to back. Nice. Great. Slowly take your time and switch it out. So we'll take that left foot back, right foot forward. Same thing here. Set up and then just start to slide back and forth. Leg doesn't have to come all the way straight. We're just kind of getting into hamstrings and the hip flexors, so the front of that left side. Good. Couple more times, front to back. Nice job. Good. So hopefully that's warmed up the hips and legs a little bit. Let's switch again. So take right leg back, left foot forward. Again, maybe you choose to use this block here. I'm going to take my left hand and bring it down to the side for the moment, or maybe it rests on the thigh. Inhale, sweeping that left arm out and maybe up, getting a little bit of a twist. And then slowly take that hand back down. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, sweep it down. Good. Couple more times. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, take it down. Good. One more. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, take it down. Great. Go ahead and switch legs. So right foot's going to be forward, left foot back. I'm going to actually use my chair this time so you can see what it looks like. Good. So it's left foot forward, right foot back this time. Let's see. Nope, I think we're switching. Right foot forward, left foot back. There we go. So left hand can stay on the chair or block or floor, wherever it is. This time right arm goes out to the side and we'll take it up and open and then bring it back to start. A couple more times. Open it up and bring it back. Little hug into the belly to support that low back here. Good. Getting that twist. Nice. Let's do it one more time. Great. Bring it back to center. So find your way into a downward facing dog if you'd like, or a child's pose. If you're standing with your chair, you're going to walk your feet back as far as you can and just feel those sits bones reach back. So I'm getting a good stretch here through my lats, through my arms, my low back. Knees are definitely bent. Head can be heavy. And breathe. Good. 2 more breaths. Press into the feet. Reach through the hands wherever you are. Nice. Very good. Bend the knees. Slowly walk those feet forward. We'll come into a forward fold. Maybe hands stay on the chair. If you're standing, you can walk them down to a lower option. Or maybe you feel like it's okay to come down farther. Wherever you want to be is a great choice. 2 more breaths. Good. Bring the hands to the thighs or the chair, bend the knees a little, press into the legs, and come all the way up to stand. So we'll all meet together in a standing shape. Let me move my chair off to the side for now. Come back to center. Great. So another important part of hip and low back health is stability. And we want to find that stability around the hip space so we can have that as we walk and move, and also stability around our core to help support our back. So let's just take a little notice of how we're standing. In our traditional mountain pose, there's a couple different cues that you might hear. Feet down to the floor, chest lifts, nice long spine. Okay, so what happens sometimes is our low back kind of tilts a little forward. So see how my sits bones are kind of pointing back and my low back is kind of tucked in here and my belly is up coming a little forward. I'm kind of leaning forward a little bit. Press into the feet and see if you can neutralize that pelvis. So bring it so the hands are kind of even with each other, not one hand higher than the other. Press through the feet. Sometimes you can turn those core muscles on by pressing the feet down and then imagine like you could spread them apart. That always helps me find a little more height, a little more awareness when I stand. And you can do the same thing when you're seated too. Actually, squeezing the glutes is a great way to turn on the core and lengthen the spine. That's kind of what we want to do throughout the day. Just give our body those little reminders to turn on and support our physical structure. Great. So we're going to do a little bit of work with core support and hip and leg support. One of the great ways to do that is balancing poses. So you're going to start to take your weight and shift it to the right foot. Feel free to always use a wall or a chair or anything that you need to find that balance. So as we shift to the right, sometimes our hip kind of shifts out. So what you want to do is imagine like you're trying to kick your right heel down to the floor. And as you kick that right heel down, it hugs that hip in, strengthens all those muscles around the outer edge of the right hip. And from there, maybe those arms go wide, several different options to work on that balance here. Maybe that left foot kind of reaches a little to the side. You can come into a tree pose if you want. But whatever choice you make, try to keep kicking that right heel down. Good, we'll do 2 more breaths here. Kick, kick, kick. And as you feel that kick moving downward, you're really strengthening those glute muscles, our big movers. Good. And release and shake it out. Nice. We'll switch it over. So weight shifts to the left and just kind of notice what your tendency is. Mine is definitely to let my knee kind of lock a little bit so my knee kind of pops back instead of being a little bent. And then I also shift my weight into that standing hip. So let's kick the foot down, automatically hugs that hip in. Maybe arms go to the side. Find whatever your shape for balance is today, but focusing mostly on that kicking down motion of the standing leg. We'll stay here for 3 more breaths. Very nice. Good. Keep kicking, keep kicking. And then release. Great. Shake it out. Wonderful. So now that we've worked a little bit on what that means to have some hip stability, these are great little practices that you can throw in any time of day. Making dinner, standing by the copy machine, whatever it is, try to go to one side and kick through that standing heel. Find some balance there. Next, we're going to work a little bit on core stability and bending over. And that's kind of when we run into the most issues with low back pain. So first things first, anytime you're bending over, knees bent. Also, if you're going to bend over and your back is feeling tired, or maybe it's feeling a little tight today, or you're going to have to pick up something heavy, clearing your throat helps to hold in that core, hugging it in like a corset, which is exactly what we need to help support the back. So we've got our knees a little bent, nice steady base. Hug that core in, and then slowly move down. So we're just going to bring hands to knees or shins, wherever you want to go. Press into those feet. So kick those heels down and rise back up. Let's try that a couple more times. Knees a little bent, core turned on. Slowly slide down, only go as far as you like. And then to come back up, kick those heels in. And rise up using those glutes to bring us up, not our low back. Let's try it one more time. Turn everything on. Knees bent, good. And slowly lower down. And then kick those heels in. Kick those heels down and come up to stand. Very nice. So those are some ways you can turn on that musculature, those supporting muscle areas, so our body can continue to move and flow in a comfortable way. Let's come back again down to the mat. This time we're going to bring the back down to the floor. So if getting down to the floor isn't something that works for you today, feel free to lay down on a couch or a bed. The more firm, the better, but it'll definitely work no matter where you can go. So back comes all the way down. A lot of times if you're dealing with low back discomfort, bent knees with feet on the floor can feel really nice. It gives the body an opportunity to just kind of settle. The low back has plenty of support. We'll take another couple breaths here, just kind of resting that lower body. Good. One more breath. Nice. Let's slowly take the right knee towards the chest. Hands can either come to the shin or behind the thigh, whatever you prefer. We're just going to get a little kind of hug in of this knee. Maybe that left leg slides forward, getting a bit more length. And then switch. Take the right foot down. Left knee comes in. Again, maybe you take that right leg long if you want. Nice. Very good. Releasing that again, so both feet come down. Two options for the lower body. Feet can go wide and knees fall in. Again, that can feel really good if low back just kind of needs some more support and rest. If you want more opening for the hips and the hips feel okay for this, maybe the soles of the feet come together and the knees out to the sides. You can always take that block or blocks and bring them underneath the outer hip or outer thigh to give you some support if that feels better. Hands can come to the belly or rest by the sides. And we'll take a few full breaths here. Feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you for practicing with me today.